Time for 10 questions with Greg Bedard of Boston Sports Journal. Again, Felger is out today. Mazz at his normal spot. It's me, Big Jim here. Directing traffic at Matt McCarthy, who's going to be chiming in as well. Jimmy Stewart, what do we have for buzzer options today?
So he can lay the lumber as well.
Yeah, Phil, he's thick.
That's with two C's. Yeah, real thick there. Bob Sosi. Next.
And May, too, if he's pulling out too early.
Oh, wow. Very kinky from Paul Perillo
Boy,
yesterday
Paul.
with his assessment. Next.
Got to beat him off.
Yeah, with a shovel.
Kinky. Greg getting into it last week. Next.
Last one, only fitting that we finish off the theme with this.
Well,
that-
you football people are getting real pent up. There's a lot.
Was that Felger enjoying Drake May's performance last Thursday? I think that's what
It was.
All right, let's start.
So he can lay the lumber as well.
Yeah, Phil, he's thick.
Fill in the blank, Greg. Tua Tagovailoa called out Brian Flores' coaching style when he was with the Miami Dolphins just yesterday. It's going viral. So in doing so, Tua looks blank.
A little bit like a baby. Little soft. Which, look, I mean, it's typical of, these young athletes these days. They want to be coddled. They want to be told they're the greatest. And if they're not, then, they go and cry in a corner like... I understand, Flores can be a bit of an a-hole, but, Brady was treated this way. All the guys were treated this way. Like, if you can't overcome that, how good of a quarterback can you be?
Wuss. Again, Tua just strikes me as soft. And again, I'm not telling you that some of the stuff he described, like we'd get on Belichick for doing with Brady, but it was Brady who was the greatest of all time. So Tua to me comes off as soft, seriously. And anytime a guy bitches about someone who's already gone, petty.
Matt?
Hawaiian Mac Jones. What a softie.
Yeah, it is this. It's soft, but this is now how you can't do this old method, like the Belichick be a hard ass. This is just, I think, further proof that today's young athletes, they need to be coddled. But my question is if he feels this way, how the hell did he thrive under Nick Saban? Next, Jimmy.
And May, too, if he's pulling out too early.
Method doesn't work, Paul. Give me two teams in the NFL who will improve from last year and why.
New Orleans. They have the 31st schedule by sort of the advanced analytics. And the Rams. I just think they've been building up that program. As long as Stafford stays healthy, which is a big question mark, I think they're going to be pretty good.
Mazz?
Atlanta, they have a quarterback. They've clearly they brought in Judon, like they're clearly in the division blows. Okay, so I think Atlanta's going to be better. They picked in the top 10, weren't they, number 8?
Yeah.
Okay, they'll be better than that. They'll be on the cusp of the playoffs, if not in it. And the Chargers, because of Harbaugh. Harbaugh will turn that thing
point.
around.
Yeah.
He will absolutely turn it around.
Matt?
Atlanta for the reasons that Mazz just listed. And believe it or not, the Patriots.
Oh.
I think the Patriots are going to be a little bit better because I do not think their quarterback play will be as destructive as it was last year. And it was destructive. I'm not saying they're going to be good because they're not going to be good. But they're not going to be the third worst team in the NFL this year. They might be the sixth worst. But hey, that's technically better. They're my answer.
It's a long way. McCarthy saying hammer that over 4.5. Next, Jimmy.
Got to beat him off.
Yeah, with a shovel.
Kinky. Give me two teams who will be worse than last year and why, Greg.
Pittsburgh, their quarterbacks are horrible. Russell Wilson and Fields. Too bad Felger's not here for that after what their debacle the other night. And the Bills. I don't know how much worse they're going to be. I just don't. They're relying on Josh Allen even more. Diggs is gone. I don't think they've done a ton there. The offensive line is in shambles. They lost a lot on the defense. It's basically all on Josh Allen. He might be able to do it, but man, that's tough.
Vegas went 8-9 last year. No shot.
Yeah,
no
good
shot
one.
they repeat that. And the Patriots. What people think? Like
You
what,
think
we're gonna leave them?
0-17's in play?
I don't know about 0-17, but I told you the franchise record for losses is in play, which is 15. That is it within reach. So the Patriots, yes, of course. Why would you leave the Patriots? That's the whole reason you asked the question, Murray.
Matt?
Give me the Steelers, who I think were one of the biggest frauds in the NFL last year. I don't think there was much difference between the Patriots and the Steelers. They somehow won 10 games, to Bedard's point. They're worse this year at the quarterback position, maybe somehow. The Steelers are an obvious one. And a team that's going to take a little bit of a step back, the 49ers. 49ers, do you believe in Purdy? There's a lot going on around there. I know they're well coached theoretically, but at some point, that team just needs to take a step back. Coming off another Super Bowl loss, another disappointment, it's going to be them.
Bills and the reckoning's coming for the Niners this year. They played a lot of football these last 3 years. Tons of injuries, holdouts. The reckoning is coming this year. Next, Jimmy.
Was
that kind of night for the Felger household watching Drake May? Nicolas Cage is set to play the role of John Madden in an upcoming biopic. Your thoughts on this casting?
I just don't get it. I don't understand anything about it. It doesn't look anything like him. Is he going to gain like 200 pounds to look like him? And I don't know. John Madden was gregarious and funny and relatable. And
I would nominate Greg Bedard to play John Madden.
The size would be
seriously.
Good.
But joking aside, it's a horrible casting. Horrible. Nicolas Cage. I had to think about it a little bit, but I don't know. Jeff Daniels, fatten up his face. Like, give me someone like that. I don't even know Brian Denny. He's still alive. He's probably 100 years old, but if he is, so he's out. But somebody with that look, like something like that, should be mad. It really should be Chris Farley if he were alive.
This might be one of the worst castings I've ever heard of. Not the bees! Not the bees! Ooh, that guy? No thanks.
It should be John Goodman. Next.
Oh, very good.
And May, too, if he's pulling out too early.
Hellman's recently had a genius marketing idea where they came up with a cologne called Will Levis No. 8, claimed to have the scent of lemon, mayonnaise, and coffee. Tennessee Titans fans quickly bought it all up at $8 a bottle. If you had a cologne, what would it smell like, Greg?
Dry rubbed wings and coffee.
Maz?
It would smell like love.
What's the musk of Matt McCarthy?
Maybe like a nice bourbon, like something like that. A bourbon cologne.
Garlic and anger would be mine. Next.
Shocker.
So he can lay the lumber as well.
Yeah, Phil, he's thick.
Two-part question. FX is soon going to release American Sports Story. Aaron Hernandez. Will you watch it, or have you had enough of this story by now?
Of course I will. I was, right in the middle of covering, all that stuff, including, breaking a lot of news with Pete Thamel at Sports Illustrated on his involvement in the murder and his imminent arrest. So, yeah, I'm very interested in it.
I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm done with it. I mean, unless there's something new in there that, there's another incident that we don't know about or something like that, I'm done with it.
This is a perfect one to watch with your girlfriend, wife, partner, whatever it is, because they're going to be enough interested in it because of the scandal and the true crime stuff. Am I over the story? Yeah, but this is a good one. You can convince somebody in your life to say, hey, let's sit down and watch this. So for that, I'm in.
We'll watch all of these FX stories that they've done, whether it was the OJ one or the murder of Gianni Versace. They're so trashy. This one will be trashy and worth watching for that. Next.
Got to beat him off?
Yeah, with a shovel.
Kinky. What scandalous NFL story would you like to see FX dramatize next for this series?
Steve McNair.
Ooh, good one.
That's the one. Next. Go ahead.
So, again, I haven't seen enough of these series to know, but has anyone done anything on Michael Vick?
No, that would be pretty good, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's been nothing like that where it's like over-dramatized. Again, it's like real cheesy. That one wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, no, the Steve McNair one, like that one jumps out to me. I was thinking like Barrett Robbins and his thing before the Super Bowl, but no, Steve McNair, good one. Good one, big boy.
That's the one. I feel like that story hasn't been told enough. And I just recently heard something. Maybe I just...
Somebody did a really good podcast on it. It was a guy I used to work with at Sports Illustrated. It's really good. I recommend it going and looking for it.
Like, part of what I just recently heard is that there was like some John Wayne Bobbitt action that happened at the end of that thing before she killed him and killed herself.
That was one of the rumors. I don't know if that's fact. But.
Oh, God. Next, Jimmy.
And May, too, if he's pulling out too early.
Speaking of that, former first-round pick Gosder Cherlis was accused of peeing all over another passenger just on a Delta flight the other day. You ever been so desperate you've had to pee somewhere, like in a bottle while driving, or ended up going in your pants?
100%. Yeah.
Who hasn't?
One time I specifically remember was I had to do an event in Milwaukee, In Green Bay, it's like 2.5 hours. And and I was driving back at night. There's nothing open. Like, it's just dark driving from Milwaukee to Green Bay. It's all farmland and stuff like that. Yeah, I had to use a bottle.
Yes, of course. Yes. By all means. I've never done it on another human being.
Matt?
Like, seriously, that guy should do jail time for that if you ask me.
Absolutely not. I am so much stronger than you guys, apparently. I have never had any incident like this in my lifetime.
Wow.
I've never done it with pee. I've done it the other way, though. Look, desperate times call for desperate measures. Next, Jimmy.
I'm sorry.
Are the Kansas City Chiefs going to three-peat? You're going to take them, or are you going to take the field?
I'm taking them. I think when they have their mindset on something, they're going to go after it, and I think they're going after it this year.
I'm taking the field, and not because I don't believe in the Chiefs, but I believe in the NFL. I believe in motivation, and I think there are a lot of teams that have something to prove. So Baltimore's got something to prove. The Niners have something to prove. The Eagles do.
The Patriots.
Did I say Dallas? Like, there are a lot of teams that have been good for the last few years that haven't won. Someone's going to break through.
Nah, I tend to go with the Chiefs on this one because I'm just not as sold on the field, Maz. Typically, that would be my answer because the NFL has more parity than just about any other sport at this point. I don't know. I can make an argument against every single one of those teams you just mentioned. Give me the Chiefs, give me Mahomes. I think it makes such a difference.
I'm taking the Chiefs. If Patrick Mahomes can win in his 2006 Brady year like last year, in other words, throwing to absolute bums outside of Travis Kelce, and they still found a way to win it, then he has a little bit more talent this year. They're going to win it again. Final one, Jimmy.
And May, too, if he's pulling out too early.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the most, what's your current level of excitement for the NFL season to start in a couple of weeks?
As of today, it's about a 7. It's kind of been a long camp and a couple preseason games. But, like, as soon as this last preseason game is over and there's a long break, it's going to be like a 15, like, next week.
10. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. 10. With the garbage that we have seen of late, for crying out loud, the Red Sox are really not that compelling. The Celtics played nobody for 8 months. The Bruins collapsed early again. Like, no, 10. I want to see some real games, independent of whether or not the Patriots are good, and they won't be. Real games. I want real games.
3, 4.
Oh, man.
No, that's because of the Patriots. And again, I think they'll be better than a lot of people, but I think it's going to be kind of a waste of a year. So I haven't quite gotten there. I'll get there about Labor Day. I'll be ready for football. I'm not ready for football just yet.
I like the fall, Murray.
I'm with you, Miss. It's a 10.
Today was closer to it.
I can feel and see the audio tumbleweeds coming by these last couple of weeks. Like, it's dead. And now the Red Sox, it's over. 12 blown saves by that suck bullpen since the All-Star break. Like, they're done. The Celtic season, like you say, like, it was just, like, easy for them. My God, please hurry up and get me to that first game, Chiefs and Ravens, to start the season.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.